Welcome back to DM-Nastics, the gym for dungeon masters to work out their minds. I'm DM Neal, aka Joke Maniac.
And I'm DM Celeste.
Yay! We're back. And many things have happened since last time. I don't know what they are, but I'm sure they have.
Many.
Yes.
A multitude.
And we're going to tie back to episode number 158, Legendary Weapons, which featured Peter Wellemerink. I did that in one take, and you have to believe me.
Yep.
And Rourke helped create DM-Nastics number 131, Are You Smarter Than a Quarterstaff? Which I think is a play on Are You Smarter Than a Fifth Grader?
Mm-hmm.
But why would it be named that?
Let's find out.
Hey!
Isn't that the tagline for that show?
I have no idea.
Okay. Yeah, so basically in this exercise, we were fleshing out a special tool in our GM toolbox, the intelligent item. So we put some questions together here about guiding you to create your own intelligent magical artifact. So the questions were, 1, what kind of item is it? 2, what powers does it possess? 3, what is known about it from legend and lore? 4, what is the intelligence's alignment and intelligence level? 5, what goals, if any, does the item have? 6, how much control does the intelligence have of the item's powers? 7, what quirks does the intelligence have? 8, and of course, anything else you want to add, our famous question.
Yes. Dun dun dun. Okay, which one did you choose?
All right, so my choice here. All right, so this one was from DM Just Jeff, and so this item is called the Hilt of Oblex. So this item is really cool. The photo that Jeff used posted here, it's sort of just like a hilt with this glass vial at the bottom that's filled with this black kind of liquid. And essentially what this does, it has the ability to create a clone of any other weapon that the user can think of. So what I really liked about this is just this idea that it's this intelligent hilt, right, that designs itself into any versatile weapon necessary. So the intelligence of the item, it crafts itself and adapts to whatever situation the user wants to make it. And so this item's truest goal is to find a master. So essentially, it's just this really powerful item that wants to be put in the hands of a warrior and is still searching for its perfect master, which I was really into.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. It can speak telepathically, and then it just reforms its own body. So it's just a really cool and also lawful evil. So. So maybe it's looking for its one true evil master to do bad things with.
Yes, I love it. Well, the other thing is, it also makes me think of Ublex or Ublek, the stuff you make where essentially if you hold it, it kind of like flows like a liquid, but then if you hit it, it forms up and becomes a solid. So I think that, kind of playing into that idea as well. And having every weapon at your disposal can't be a bad thing.
Nope. Unless you're lawful evil, which this sword is.
Oh. The other thing that I like is that they made it pretty intelligent. So, in the idea that it would be willing to go along for the ride, even if it was a good person or not lawful evil person, to eventually find that person that kills them and then be like, hey, take me instead. It'll be fine.
I'm your prize.
Yes.
Take me home. Oh man, I can imagine that if it's like a good v evil warrior battle and then the sword's like, oh no, I made myself a pillow. Sorry.
Yep, just goes back into the potion bottle. I'm good. So, for mine, I have chosen the greatest combination of avatar and screen name.
Yes.
And their avatar is an amazing picture of Nightwing as someone who is a DC fan with a DC podcast. I would have also thought that there was like a coinciding name, but no, they are DM Speedo Bandit.
Yes.
And I hope that's what they're referred to as in real life. I don't know why, and I don't want to know the story. I just want to hold it in my heart that they are.
When do we get the homebrewed Speedo Bandit class? That's what I want to know.
Yes. Perfect. Dear DM Speedo Bandit, if you can hear my voice, please create a DM Speedo Bandit subclass.
Please and thank you. Love your DMs.
Clearly a rogue subclass.
Yes.
Arcane Trickster, or Speedo Bandit. Tough choices. Tough choices.
Hard to say.
But they made the intelligent item called the Opal Horseshoes, which essentially dominate the mind of whatever horse it is put on. And it essentially kind of elevates that creature through the item's intelligence into a smarter creature and can begin to communicate and is stronger, is faster. And I also love that the owner of the horse, like, they're the only one that the horse will talk to initially. So I assume that they will everyone else in the party will think that they are insane. And that makes my heart full.
Yes.
Just so full.
Because of magic horseshoes.
Yes.
Oh, I love also in the other things category that the horse who has wearing these slowly over the course of weeks changes its appearance to be a very large black horse with white socks around its hooves. And there is no explanation as to why, which is fantastic.
I also like that it's like super low key and wants to raise its original master from the dead who died over 60 years ago.
So cool.
And the other thing is that, I can't remember, the horse from Skyrim. Basically, it's that, because it'll just show up and start kicking everyone.
Yep.
Which, I mean, you can never go wrong with a horse that's kicking. I don't even know. Okay, a horse with socks. DM Speedo Bandit, you are my hero.
Yes. Thank you for this gift.
But with that, it's time to lift the mental weights right now.
Lifting weights is what I do. Look at me. Lift these weights.
So I have something from a game of yore. I did not make this, but I was the player that received these items as the campaign went along. And it was actually a full set of armor.
Oh.
But it was separated.
Got it.
So each item was intelligent, and then it kind of formed together as you found the pieces. So I think I started out with one gauntlet and found a second gauntlet. And other pieces of mechanical effects would kind of come into play. And, and it was the other thing that's a great idea is if you're combining things like I've kind of explained, you can also let that be plot hooks and things like that. Because the next piece, I think it was either the breastplate or the helmet, was in like the Far East. So if I wanted to go get it, that's where I would have to go.
Yeah, you had to travel, or if you want to put the different pieces in different dungeons or put, guards around each one of them, that's, definitely instant plots right there.
Yeah.
So wait, what was the armor happy about being like a part? What was the story there?
So it was kind of like a cursory goal. Like it definitely wanted to be back together, but it wasn't like this overarching thing. And that's the other interesting thing about creating intelligent items is like, well, if they're thousands of years old, I mean, their goals may be completely different from, you're living 100 years max as a human.
Right.
And so the goals that they have versus the goals that you have and going and having that play back and forth. So the powers that the gauntlets possessed were kind of somewhat spell storing, and I was kind of a frontline fighter that had that. So if someone were to cast something at me, I could basically store that energy, and when I had found the second one, I could release that energy. So then it was a lot of fun to turn a fireball back on someone.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. It was
really mess up someone's day.
Amazing. Oh, well, and so like the legend and lore was basically you were only finding it out through the intelligence of the item. I mean, there was no other method by which to figure it out, which is great back and forth with you and the DM, and as always, you don't want it to overshadow things, but basically the only thing I could learn was by talking more to the gauntlets I had about finding more about them and the other pieces. So yes, amazing. What do you have?
You know what? I'm trying to think of something because there's so many intelligent like swords or just standard kind of violent implements. But what if there was like an intelligent bag of holding or something like all it desires in this world is to eat or to possess specific things. Like
yes.
So if there was like a bag of holding or even like, I don't know, it just has like a dragon's kind of intelligence or mind where it wants to hoard things and it just wants to put them in the bag. So its whole purpose is to get these specific items for itself.
and it's kind of a jerk about it.
Yeah,
like,
it's super a jerk. Yeah.
You want to get something back out, but it's basically kind of a fair trade system.
Exactly.
I will give this to you if you return something in kind.
If you give me a gold bar, I may let you have that honey that you put in here.
Oh, that's so good. Oh, and it's so overpriced.
Yes.
Oh,
no.
I will charge you 10 gold for this single day's worth of rations.
Yeah, and I think this bag would be just like absolutely true, like chaotic neutral, like totally on its own team. Yes.
I love chaotic neutral because then the pricing doesn't stay the same either.
No, it's just depending on its mood and like its day, if it's feeling petty or not.
Oh, it's good. But you would definitely want to make it you would want this to be very beneficial. So you would almost want to kind of have it be the biggest bag of holding at an earlier level, because then the price you pay along the way kind of evens it out.
Maybe it's like it's a bottomless bag.
Oh, that's so good.
It also but that means it will perpetually want things or be hungry for things. Like it can't ever sate that. But you can put anything in it, and it doesn't have a limit. That would be cool. I would love to see that in my game, and it'd be very frustrating. I'm sure.
I would also, because one of the drawbacks of the bag of holding, intentionally so, is that you basically cannot put living creatures inside. I think like a small pocket that exists inside of it, that would not be true.
Yep.
I think would be another very interesting thing.
Your little prison cell.
Yeah.
Inside the bottomless bag.
Yep.
Oh, I love it.
Escort quest. Just way easier.
Yes. You'll be safe in there, my lord.
Wait, what were we doing? Oh, no.
Oh, God, not again. What do you want this time? A griffin feather? What?
Oh, that's so good. Okay. What other intelligent items could we think of?
Let's see. What would I want to see?
Okay. So I did have an idea, and it's mainly because I was rereading the books by R.A. Salvatore.
Yes.
And I just going through the whole thing again. So I was on the Cleric Quintet, and basically they had used an ever-smoking bottle to kind of enhance an evil curse. And like that was the method by which they distributed it. And I thought it would be really interesting to have a bottle of some sort be an intelligent item. And so, be it the ever-smoking bottle or just a bottle in general, what if you put in a healing potion?
Yeah.
And so now it's a healing potion plus something. And so I think I also love the idea of it just being lost to time, and you just pick it up as a normal healing potion, and then having that kind of in your back pocket as the DM, waiting for that time that they actually use it.
They drink that healing potion and then something happens. Yeah.
Well, I would say that whoever drinks from the bottle can then communicate with the bottle.
Cool.
And so then you have this telepathic link with this bottle, and then you start figuring things out, because again you can go back to the idea that it's been around for 1,000 years, 10,000 years, who knows, and who knows what it knows, and now you have that connection. And the funny thing that I would want it to do is to wear off, and then like you'd have to keep putting things in the bottle and drinking back
from it
out
so you can talk to it.
Yep.
I love that.
Or figuring out a way that you could, change it to be that ever smoking bottle, and then you could have people be telepathically connected because of the smoke. You could have more people talking at one time because of the smoke. But yeah, twisting the idea of a sentient bottle that you could use.
Yeah, very cool.
So, what are some of the other questions?
What quirks does the intelligence have? How much control does the intelligence have of the item's powers?
I would say full control of the powers, and I would want it to be pretty intelligent. But the other thing that I would want it to do is kind of initially, and I don't know if I would change the personality over time, but have it be very forthcoming with speaking. Because it's been so long since it's talked to anyone, and it's such a limited time frame that it's just hardcore chatterbox as soon as it starts.
Yes.
And just this overwhelming amount of knowledge that is either irrelevant, some of it's relevant, just hit him with everything.
I love that scene where that enters. You're in the middle of this fight and you're getting totally beat up, and you pull this healing potion out of your bag, take a swig, and then all of a sudden this like thing just starts chattering away in your brain, like in the middle of this fight. That would be such a great scene to put together.
Well, and I mean, I also love the idea, and I know this is a personal preference for some. Do you go critical role? Do you whisper? I know myself, depending, I'll go to a whole nother room going with the person, but okay, you took that healing potion, let's go to the other room. And it's just like all of the other players, including the player, of course, that drank it, is just like, I don't know what's happening.
Like, oh god, I just thought this was normal treasure.
Oh, this is the worst. I'm dead. I'm sure I'm dead.
Oh no.
Oh, that's awesome. Okay, I have an idea. Let's work on this one together.
Okay.
What if we made the robe of eyes an intelligent item?
Oh no, it would see so much.
If this robe could talk. Oh, it can.
Oh, it can.
Oh man, that was a really good secondary title for this whole thing.
Oh, there you go. Smarter than a quarterstaff if this robe could talk. Oh wait.
Yep.
Eyes everywhere. Yeah, okay. So the robe of eyes. Ooh, okay. So we know it's typical powers, but would it have anything additional?
I mean, I know that I and most DMs have a tendency to overcomplicate things when we create them. But I will do so now, regardless of the fact that I know that that's probably not the best.
Tendency.
But I would have the personality, the intelligence, based on which eyes were open.
Mm.
And so maybe roll at the start of each day, basically see who wakes up, if you will, and then kind of have things adjust from there. I would only want to do, let's say a D4. That way it's not too complicated.
Right.
But essentially, what does that give them? And then if you can start thinking about the power of eyesight, I mean, it could be, in the eyes of a dwarf, and now you have dark vision and you have the stone cunning and that kind of thing. I mean, it could also be that you have the literal eye of the beholder, and then maybe you have a ray attack.
Shoot rays, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I definitely imagined this, that I immediately thought of beholders with this, like, just the amount of paranoia that I think this item would pick up, like, constantly looking around itself and seeing everything, and maybe that, like, that anxiety is passed on to the wearer as well from this item. Oh,
that is another tactic, is to have the intelligence of the item begin to change the intelligence, not the intelligence, that is not what I meant. The personality of
the wearer.
The player, the player character.
Yeah, so like give it a nice little cursed, one of those cursed intelligent items we hear so much about.
Yeah. Awesome. Okay. I say we've done it. We've done it once again. But if you wanted to tell us about your intelligent item and how you put it in your game, you can always email us at dmnastics@gmail.com, or you can head over to Twitter where you can follow us at DM-Nastics, all one word, all lowercase, where you can find my handle, Celeste's handle, and you can watch all of the daily DM-Nastics that we post. And of course, for everything else on the network, you can always head to blockpartypodcastnetwork.com.
Rather than let these mental gains go to waste, let's head over to taking your supplements. Taking your supplements! All right, Neal. So today I have something really exciting that I want to talk to you about. This is something that comes from my friend Joe the DM, who some of you might know if you listen to the Actual Play podcast, You Meet in a Tavern. He is the dungeon master for that. And he has gone ahead and created something really, really cool. It's a Pokemon Rules 5th edition supplement.
Yes.
So essentially what Joe does here, he went in and he created rules for how to have your own Pokemon battles in 5th edition. He has like rules for character creation for different types of trainers, including, like specializations if you want to be a bug type trainer, all of these really, really cool rules. And then he also, of course, went ahead and I believe he's done the stats for every Gen 1 and 2 Pokemon, and that is included. Correct. Yeah, so it's just this really incredible, super fun supplement. I myself have been going back and watching all the original Pokemon episodes again. So when I heard about this, I was just over the moon, and it is so cool.
Yeah, and if you follow either DM Mitch or myself on Twitter, you know that both of us are into Pokemon Go. I mean, him so much so that at a Catacon, he convinced me to get back in, and I'm all the way back in. But I've been rewatching the show as well and kind of basically tracking the generations as they come out on Pokemon Go. But this document is insane. It's a 180-page document.
Mm-hmm.
And it has its own section on Reddit. So if you go to r/Pokemon5e with the number 5e, you will find everything you could have ever wanted and more.
Yeah, and it is completely free too. You can head right over there now. Joe's just put this together for anyone to enjoy. So definitely hop in there. There's lots of great discussions on the Reddit page going on with it. So yeah, go and definitely check it out and give Joe a shout out on Twitter for his cool work.
Yeah. If nothing else, Section 11, Pokemon Stat Blocks, is worth the download and the shout out. Because again, it is every Gen 1 and Gen 2, which would put us in the well over 200 monsters.
Yeah, and he's done the moves, like broken them down like spell description, like in the 5th edition player's handbook. It's just so, it's so cool that he made this.
Yep. So we'll have a link to the Reddit section in the show notes. And yeah, like we said, go check it out. With that, though, we'll turn out the lights and head out of the gym. But before we go, I want to implore you, the listeners, to join the forums and take part in these challenges and exercises, as well as the other amazing conversations being had.
To do that, head over to dungeonmasterblock.freeforums.net and try some DM-Nastics so your players don't ask, do you even lift?
Can I trust you will add your own cardio?
Yeah, no, don't put me down for cardio.
What are you doing?
Horizontal running.